So I thought we'd do something a little different today. Play a different game. No, this is Liquidators. It is a. Hold on.
There has been a nuclear accident in the Soviet Union, and the Soviets have admitted that it happened. The Soviet version is this. One of the atomic reactors at the Chernobyl atomic power plant near the city of Kiev was damaged, and there is speculation in Moscow that people were injured and may have died. The Soviets may have been fairly quick to acknowledge the accident because evidence in the form of mild nuclear radiation had already reached beyond the Soviet borders to Scandinavia.
Radio transmission, connected and working. To summarize, you've been chosen because of your expertise in locating valve systems, and reaching those water tanks are our last hope in containing this disaster. If you don't drain those water tanks, a steam explosion will create a radioactive fallout that will render Europe uninhabitable. It is a perilous journey to those valves, and if anything happens to you, we will guarantee your families are taken care of in your stead. Your country and I thank you for your selfless service. It's up to you three now.
Alright, as I was saying, this game is about the Chernobyl power plant incident, the deadliest and worst nuclear power related incident that humanity has ever happened so far. And basically what the first Liquidators did, like these are like actual people. The characters in this game, like the three you play as, are actual Liquidators that went in to drain the floor. Corium. There's so much corium in this game. If you don't know what corium is a radioactive material that happens after nuclear meltdown events, and it's a mixture of glass, nuclear waste, concrete, metal.
I didn't want to distract you. I just wanted to hear your breathing.
There's my flashlight. But yeah, this is about the three Chernobyl liquidators that went in and emptied out the basement. Because what happened was, when the meltdown occurred, the fuel rods, or the control rods, which are practically the same thing.
Some time from another meltdown. Find your way to the next drainage valve.
What's down here? Does this just lead us back to the start? Oh, it does. And so radium is a bunch of just material. Oh, I keep getting sidetracked. Oh yeah, wait, I should get a new flashlight. Yeah, but, so they went down, and since the reactor control rods melted down the area, I guess I can't do that. Anyway, since they melt down the, actual, reactor itself, I did this way too early. Earlier than I wanted. Okay, well, as I was saying before I keep on sidetracked by the game, it released a bunch of water, and since they didn't know if the core was still like able to be cooled at the time. So what ended up happening was they were just pumping in a bunch of water, but because of this, the fuel rods weren't getting any of it, because when the lid popped, it ended up on its side. And because it ended up on its side, it meant that it could not get cooled. But nuclear fuel rods, they just continuously heat. They don't stop heating. So there was just a bunch of water in the basement. If the nuclear fuel rods made contact with the water, a second explosion would occur that would be even worse than the initial explosion. Well, than the initial two. Okay, wait, no, I gotta kill myself. In game. But that's what happened at the Chernobyl plant. And so basically what these three liquidators did, they went in, turned on a bunch of valves and started like deflooding the basement. It's the only way to switch character for some reason. It's very annoying.
We lost contact with him. As much as I regret it, High Command recommends not going after him. But as your superior, I allow you to do so if you have the opportunity. We
That's a
might
good
be able
angle.
to treat him at the hub area if you drag him there. The choice is up to you.
Yeah, but so that's what these three liquidators did. They went in, emptied out the basement of the Chernobyl power plant by pumping out all the water.
Valery, your father's on the line. He was insistent on having a quick word with you. Valery, I wanted to say that I'm very proud of you. I'm honored to have you as my son. The state does not deserve you.
As much as I like, oh, so that's the elephant's foot, by the way. Every game tends to make the elephant's foot look big, but it's about like 2 meters in diameter. It's actually extremely small. But the thing is, at the time, right after the event, 200 seconds
Comrade.
is all it took
We have the final area left.
to kill a man.
The tanks and that's it. You're doing it.
200 seconds for it to be lethal. 60 seconds for long-term effects. It's actually insane how this is just that's the most amount of corium, yeah. This just 2 meters in diameter of pure corium, which is this is one of the cases of accidental corium. So because of that, I should get another flashlight. Thanks for getting into the last bit of the game. It's not a long game, and I've beaten it before. Which kind of takes away one part of the effect, but it's fine. Yeah, but it's just a shitload of corium. Like, you would see very little of this. Because in this game, the elephant's foot is absolutely massive, but in real life, it's up to like your knee, which is still huge for what it is. But overall, it's not that big. Yeah, but Chernobyl was a disastrous scenario. And then it was the worst out of the 3 major events of nuclear meltdowns. Because you have Chernobyl, 3 Mile Island, and that one random Japanese facility. I forget what it's called. Yeah, this will collapse. this. Okay, we made the run for it. Now we're at the second valve. Now, the next valve is the last valve that we have to do because it will drain the basement. Like, this is the coolant reserves. Like, this is just pure and utter coolant that they'd use to keep the reactor core at a stable temperature. Okay, here we are at last valve.
You did it! You crazy son of a bitch! You actually did it! Come out now! Come out now!
Yeah. What caused Chernobyl was, what ended up happening was they switched to the night crew, the lesser experienced night crew, because they wanted to delay the safety checks on reactor 4 for after peak power consumption, which would make sense. But they waited till till the day crew left. Waiting for the day crew to leave, you had the less experienced night crew, and somebody had a promotion on the line, so it had to go extremely well. And because now that didn't really do that much about it, it was just like it was one of the selective biases about it. Why did I have 1%? No, I don't know. Oh yeah, elephant's foot. Anyways, it was like, but he had a promotion on the line. There's like assistant head engineer or something like that, and he was about to become head engineer. Because of this, it had to go extremely well. But there was another guy, a very less experienced, ambitious, like young man. I forget his name. I don't know any of their names actually. All I know is that one of the liquidators was named Boris. But because of this, like I said, I had to go very well. I've said it like 5 times now. But the younger guy, he pulled out all the control rods at once. But then they went on. But then the like assistant head engineer or something like that, I forget. I don't remember what he was rank he was, but he was about to be head engineer or something like that. He's about to be very high up and had a promotion on the line. So he pressed this button. I forget what it was. It was like RA-5 or something like that. What it did was it automatically. It was a shutdown button, pretty much. It would drop all the control rods down. Now, okay, I kind of skipped a part. Okay, so let me restart. They pulled out the control rods, were dropped in all the way. Then they pulled them right back out to generate power. They went from normal, like they went from to 5,000 megawatts. Well, no, gigawatts. Sorry, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 megawatts. They reached. So then they pressed that button, the shutdown button, to drop the rods right back in. It did that, but when the reactor rods were pulled out from shitty design, and even the Chernobyl reactors weren't even as big as they're supposed to be for safety, but the holding walls melted and warped. This warping caused major evaporation because they were superheated at this point. This caused evaporation of the coolant rods next to them. Well, the way that coolant ran, it caused evaporation. That made there be no coolant. When the coolant reached there, it just evaporated instantly, causing pressure. And then when they dropped the rods back in, more heat, more pressure, explosion. What was it? It was 40. It was like 4,000 kilogram reactor cover went flying up into the air like a coin flip, flew out of the roof, landed back down sideways, and then start releasing radioactive gas. So it was a mix of human error and shitty reactor design. The reactor design for Chernobyl was not used in the way it was meant to be. I forget what it was originally meant to be used for, but it was not meant for power plant usage. Kind of like American reactors, how they're just submarine reactors, but they're not designed for it because they're used in a submarine like that. Because if something happened, you could blow the submarine with it. You can melt it down and let the submarine be destroyed. So both American and Russian reactors are being used in ways that they aren't supposed to be. Okay, so I dragged this video on long enough. Alright, here's the end of the game. Protected radioactive fallout of Europe population, I think it said. I wasn't reading. Next stage of containment, starting additional liquidators and volunteers needed. Name, and Boris. Were each awarded the Order of An estimate of 600,000 liquidators participated in the worst nuclear disaster in history, all performing incredibly important and daring duties, preventing an irreparable catastrophe that would have affected tens of millions of lives for generations. Hundreds of thousands have died or are disabled due to the radiation doses received. I'm pretty sure nearly all of them suffered. I don't know, man. Yeah, but that's Liquidator. Yeah, but, when they cleaned up the roof of the sarcophagus, the first sarcophagus, there's two, they were allowed to stay up there for 90 seconds, and when they hit 90 seconds, they had to run back in, so they got one shovel load, and they surpassed the amount of radiation they were supposed to consume, and the majority of them went to 5 to 6 times that. So yeah, Chernobyl was something. Nothing good. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, now you're seeing black.